That first question is always going to be about the trouble of travel. What do you take out of the weekend's game in terms of that away losses and not being able to get the points away from home?
Not having reviewed the game yet, Monday morning, I just think it's probably more disappointing the way we played rather than away or home. Obviously, it's a bit of a pattern this year, but I mean we've played some good teams away from home this year. It's more about how we've played this year, and I'd like to see where we broke down a bit. I mean, being down at full back, I sometimes look up and don't know exactly how the ball's down there. I just know it's there. So there's a few things we'd like to be doing better, but overall, I think we just need to play better footy, home or away.
Listening to commentary, whether it's TV or radio, that they were saying attitude's the problem is more away from home than it is at home. You seem to steamroll teams here and come with the right attitude. Do you feel that there's a difference in attitude, difference in desperation?
I don't think so, but obviously results don't lie. But it's hard to say whether it's attitude or if it's how the guys are feeling away, or sometimes hard to pinpoint. But looking at it positively, I'd like to think that you can look at the away record, but you can also look at our home record. We're very hard to beat here as well. So I think Geelong, there's some stats floating around. They haven't lost too many games at home. So we're pretty confident going over there. We could really challenge them, and that was the disappointing part, that we fell away in stages of the game. But positively, I think our home form, and when we're playing our best footy, we can match it with most. So I'm going to try and keep it positive for sure.
With the home form, the reality that you say that you don't play a grand final here if you want to win a flag, is that an issue for you now that you just have to find a way to? You can't be saying we're playing good teams away, because you will be playing good teams away if you play them in a final. Yeah,
we've beaten teams away from home before. It's not like we've never won away. And we'll work for the rest of the season to get better. We're a long way from finals or grand finals or anything like that. So I think that's another positive. We've got a long way to go and a lot of time to work on things to get better, because that's what ultimately we want to do. We want to get better at what we're doing and improve the way we play footy.
Is your away confidence taking a hit?
I think when you lose, your confidence takes a hit, away or home, and it probably has a little bit. But we're a group that's built on trust and backing ourselves and backing our own ability. So we're not going to back away from that and step down just because we've had a couple of bad losses away from home. We're going to believe in ourselves and come out next week and improve against St Kilda.
How are the back six going, Will?
I think okay. We've obviously had a couple of guys in and out a little bit, so missing that continuity we had a bit last year, but I think we've improved probably every week as a back six. It's tough to see with some of the results we've had, but I think the way we're working as a back six is actually going okay. We had a few turnovers on the weekend through our midfield that I think hurt us, and I mean we play a very aggressive style of defence, so when you have those turnovers you don't expect, it hurts you on the other way. So we got to look after the footy better to help us as a backline. But as a backline, we got to stop goals coming in. We've leaked goals a little bit at stages, but again, we're just we'll try and get better and improve. And Mackenzie in there, he's like a new player for us this year and one of our best players. So every game he's getting better, and as the season goes on, we'll continue to grow.
Have you felt he's become more comfortable in the sort of spatial defence that you do, given his experience as a one-on-one defender? Yeah,
it's that's the big one for Easy. I think his body's feeling great. He's moving well. He's confident with his the footy in his hand as well. It's just, I guess, adjusting to. It's funny how the game's changed in 12 months. He's gone from just a lockdown defender, he follows his man everywhere, to being able to hand over and play on tools and smalls. And he's still adjusting to it, but I think if you look pretty closely at his game, he's got better every game he plays, and he'll continue to do so because he's a very good player.
Hey, Sco, what do you think about the shot clock in the AFL? Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it while I've been playing. I've got too much other things going on, but I like it I'm a footy fan as well. I like it from a spectator's point of view. As a player, I couldn't even tell you what's been going on with it, but I've seen it in games and I like that, especially if it's a close game as well. It's a bit irrelevant if it's not a close game, but in those close games, to have the interchangeable of that clock coming up as well, I like it.
So it hasn't annoyed you as a defender?
I have not noticed it once.
On the weekend, one of the players knew there was 30 seconds to go, so he just put the ball under his arm and let the clock run down. And then he kicked the goal and the game was over. Would you like to see that happen? Do you think that's using the system, abusing the system, milking the system?
I would have thought that's what the system's there for, so the players can do things like that to show that they can actually think about their footy. I don't think every player in the AFL will do that, so I didn't say who did it, but obviously smart. You're there to win games of footy, so you're going to take everything you can get.
When
You're on the mark,
it's one of the first things you guys do is work out how you can get around it. I've seen with players, the shot clock comes in straight away, they go, how can we make this to our advantage? Are you guys deconstructing rule changes quickly to work
Not
out
particularly,
your way around?
but I mean, it's just natural as a footy player that, you know, you see new rules come in as well, and players will not find a way around, but they'll work within the rules to find an advantage. So, yeah.
How have you viewed Lewis Jetta's form over the first 6 games that he's played?
He's been a bit patchy. I think he'd admit that as well. He hasn't probably been having the influence that he'd like to have, but knowing Louis and getting to know him over the pre-season, he's an important part of our team, and he's well liked, and the boys love having him around the club and in the team. So I think the biggest one is just getting a bit of confidence for him and knowing that we're backing him in, which we all are. And look, I can't imagine it'd be easy changing clubs and having to uproot your life and move over to a new state. So I think we'll continue to back him in and hopefully he grows and just has more influence. He's not going to have 30 touches. He's not that sort of player. So I think just when he gets the footy, we just want him to have more influence, and I'm sure he will. I've got no doubt.
Have you got concerns about his work ethic? That seems to be the criticism from the outsiders looking in, that he's not working hard enough, and this team does work very, very hard, so it's obviously standing out to some of the footy experts.
Yeah, I don't have any troubles with his work ethic.
Is it understanding the system then, maybe? You reckon it's taken a while to understand the West Coast Eagles' tactics and the strategies?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a big adjustment there. I know he's been doing a lot of work with the coaches, when we're not out game day, but ultimately when game day comes around, you've got to know your stuff. So it's going to take a bit of time with him. And like I said, we're just going to back him in, have confidence in him, and all the boys trust him. So there's no problem on our end. He's going to take time to grow.
The Saints have been dangerous. How important is it to make sure you switched on from the first bounce on set?
Yeah, I saw a fair bit of what they did against Kangaroos yesterday, and Kangaroos are the best side in the comp at the moment. So to take it right up to them and lose in the last 30 seconds or so, very dangerous side. The way they play, it's an attacking brand. Love putting pressure on the ball. It'll be a really good game from a spectator's point of view, I would have thought, and we'll be expecting their best and wanting to be challenged by the best.
Who's chasing Nick Rebold around for the day, you reckon?
I don't know, he's moving pretty well for an old fella at the moment, and I mean that in the nicest way. He's looking as dangerous as he probably ever has. Tremendous work rate. He's up there probably in the top 3 that I've played on in terms of work rate. So the way we play our footy, it'll be a bit of a team effort as a backline, making sure he doesn't get a hold of us, and it's not an easy task, but I'm sure we'll be up to it.
Is the way you guys play a bit easier to try to contain him rather than the one bloke being exhausted for most of the day?
I think so. Eric's probably had the matchup on him in the past, the way Eric plays, and you could probably ask him a bit more about his the way he goes about it. But yeah, the way we play, we'll have guys. Eric will be on him, I'll be on him. There'll be other guys playing on him, so hopefully we can share the load a little bit.
So you haven't played on him as such, and haven't felt that being run around?
No, I have played on him, and I probably had to get moved off him after a couple of quarters of run around after him. So he's one of the best in the business for sure. Is
it quite unique though that maybe he is not necessarily getting better, but he's having a real good purple patch at the moment, and he's getting a lot older?
I think Nick's strength would be I can't really remember him having a bad year. He might have a couple of bad games here and there, but the best players, they're consistent footballers, and certainly in my memory, he's just been a consistent good player. And at the moment, he's running in a purple patch, but he doesn't drop off. So I think that's his biggest strength.
How do you freshen up at this time of year? Because it's always tough, sort of 7 rounds in after a long pre-season, the guys get a little bit sore. How are the boys feeling, and how do you maintain some freshness?
I guess it helped this year. We started a little later, so round 7 for us isn't as far down the track as we probably have been in previous years, where we've had another month of training obviously in the pre-season. So I think that helps a bit. I'm still feeling mentally fresh and ready for, playing and winning and the contest. Yeah, I know I feel like that, and a lot of the boys do as well. And touch wood, I think injury-wise we're looking pretty well at the moment. So last week we had a couple of guys pretty quiet weeks, but it's pretty normal on a 6-day turnaround from travel. So got an 8-day break this week. I think it's just a natural freshener up there, and just keep hunting the contest. To be honest, I think that keeps you pretty fresh. Is those matchups week to week where you come up against a St Kilda who have just pushed North Melbourne to the brink. It's going to be a massive challenge for us.